Chapter 7, The Best Way to Avoid School. The best way to avoid school, as everyone knows, is to get sick. But not all sicknesses are created equal. Some are better than others. Tonsillitis, for example, is pretty good. You get all the Italian ice you want. It's my dream to have tonsillitis someday. Appendicitis is good too, but not as good as a burst appendix, which gets you a ride in a wailing ambulance speeding through all the red lights on Route 62 to Emerson Hospital. This happened when Calvin's appendix burst and our mom found him on the kitchen floor. He has all the luck. The flu is okay, but it's not great. You only get ginger ale and crackers, which is a real ripoff, but usually you get to watch all the cooking shows and the cartoons that you want. Common cold, one bad tasting zinc drop, some tissues, and you are back in school the next day. Medical mysteries. If you get a foreign accent syndrome or barking madness or a squeaky chalk phobia, forget it. You're back in school the same day. So you have to be patient. It's like choosing a car or a house. My mom says you shouldn't jump at the first offer because a better deal might be right around the corner. And it was. One day, Jules was out with chicken pox. Don't go near Jules's house, Miss P warned our class. It'll take 2 weeks for all the blisters to scab over completely, and until then, Jules is highly contagious. Highly contagious. I felt like dancing. I nearly burst like fireworks, but I didn't. I had to wait until after school. It was hard not to go near Jules's house. It's on the way to everything. It's as though Jules's house is a big magnet and I'm an iron filing, and every time I so much as step out of my house, I'm yanked toward it just like that. When I finished after-school tea with my mom and finally stepped out of the house, that was exactly what happened. I was sucked by such a powerful force toward Jules's house that I could barely even pick up the fat frog in the gutter on my way. When I got to Jules's house, there was already a line behind the tall bushes in front, just like the line waiting at the cinema for a scary movie playing. "Hey guys," I said. "Shh," hissed Eli. "Stay low or Jules's mom will see us and we'll all get sent home." "Wait your turn or shove off," said Hobson, who always gives you a choice. "This is a top secret undercover operation. We go in one at a time or we don't go in at all." "Okay," I said, "I'll wait." "Rrrr," said the frog in my hands. What's that you got, a frog?" said Naya. "Yep," I said. I set the frog in the grass and everyone leaped around trying to catch it for a while. It was fabulous. Then before I knew it, it was my turn. I caught my frog, rushed around the side of the house, and ran right into Pinky under Jules's window. "Watch where you're going," said Pinky, and he held out a can. On the can was a label. 1 minute visit, 50 cents. Jump into bed, $1. "You got $1?" asked Pinky. I gasped. Normally Pinky does not speak to me. Usually I don't show up on his radar, not a bleep, not even a flicker. But I was flickering now. I shook my head. I did not have $1. "Got 50 cents? "No." "I'll take that frog then," said Pinky. "No way," I said, tucking the frog into my armpit. "It's for Jules." "No dollar, no frog, no service," said Pinky. "Wait," I said, remembering an unchewed piece of gum in my back pocket. I took it out. It was warm and soft. Pinky grabbed the gum, unwrapped it, and stuffed it into his cheek. "Okay," he said, "now you get a minute." I took my frog and hopped through Jules's window. Jules was in bed. I gave my frog to Jules. "Thanks," said Jules. "Rrr, rrr, rrr," said the frog. "So where's the chicken?" I asked, glancing around Jules's room. "I was wondering that myself," said Jules. "I wish I knew." I was really disappointed. How can you catch the chicken pox without first catching the chicken? "I came to catch the chicken pox," I said, "not the plain pox." But the plain pox wasn't too shabby. It had turned Jules's head into a potato covered with red eyes. Some eyes were crying, others were crusty like sugar on a cookie. It was great. Jules had never looked scarier. "So what you doing?" I asked. "Nothing," said Jules. "Well, maybe I'm scratching a little." Jules was scratching like crazy. I do not know if Jules is a girl or a boy. Sometimes Jules plays with the boys, and other times Jules plays with the girls. Jules could stand for Julian, or it could stand for Julia. It's hard to tell. The blisters didn't help either. In fact, they made Jules look like neither a boy nor a girl. Instead, Jules looked like a good deal like an alien. A real live alien potato, fresh off a UFO. "You are so lucky," I said. "I'd love to look like that." "Yeah," said Jules, "it's really great, except for the itching." "You got any that you can't reach?" I asked. "Yeah, right in the middle of my back," said Jules, squirming. So I gave Jules a hand. I think it's one of the rules of being a gentleman, but I don't really know. I can't remember. "Thanks," said Jules. "Any time," I said. "Time's up," Pinky hissed from the window. "Dude," I said. "Dude," said Jules. None of us caught the chicken pox, or even saw one. So none of us broke out with chicken pox that day, or the plain pox either. It was a terrible disappointment. Then, a long time later, just when we'd forgotten all about Jules and the chicken pox, and none of us were trying to catch anything anymore, a miracle happened. Our art teacher, Mr. Grunert, was showing us some famous self-portraits one warm afternoon. Frida Kahlo looked a little itchy to me, with some branches coming out of her hair, and Paul Gauguin looked a bit feverish because he was in Tahiti, which is really hot, and Vincent van Gogh, in his scratchy straw hat, definitely looked itchy, very itchy. And then we got mirrors and brushes, so we could paint our own self-portraits. My self-portrait was going to be a masterpiece. But strangely, I didn't feel like painting. I didn't feel like doing anything at all. "You boys look a little strange," said Mr. Grunert. I felt strange. Then I looked in the mirror, and something scary stared back. "Ah!" screamed the whole gang, and they were looking in their mirrors too. And then Flea, who was next to me, looked at me. "Ah!" she shrieked, spilling her paints, and the other girls screamed too, and some ran fast and others ran faster. You'd think we were a bunch of aliens or something. School shut down for 2 weeks and a half after that, and there was a story about us in the newspaper so that people as far away as Andover, Massachusetts, which is also hard to spell, read about the great chickenpox epidemic in Concord. We were famous. The newspaper said, "The first victim had been carefully quarantined. All the children had been warned to keep away." How the epidemic ever got started was a complete mystery.